Hi! Welcome back to the Rangening. I have something that I cannot describe, so I'm just going to get right into it. It's called Challengers, though.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, hi, MGM. I may remember you from such director's cuts as A Billion Penises. What are you up to nowadays? What's that? Two cucks cuck roast each other over a slip of a she-cuck. Sounds riveting.
Tashi Duncan, she's gonna turn a whole family into millionaires.
Okay, so this is some kind of very smug tennis pro.
She'll have a fashion line, a foundation.
What the fuck is that? That looks like a gelfling. Like an ugly gelfling.
Mean? Not inaccurate, but mean. A human would make an ugly gelfling to another gelfling.
And this one? Like, we're really no longer in the era of, male stars having that kind of presence. That Marlon Brando quality. And Marlon Brando wasn't himself necessarily, like, super stoically masculine. He had sort of a pretty boy appeal, but he still looked like a man.
Ah, the old days, when men were men and women were women. It's funny, that phrase has been around for a long-ass time, even though it never really made sense until the last few years, in the midst of this quite concerted effort to insist that men are not in fact men, and women are not women. Small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri are not small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri. And X and Y are respectively not X and Y. And not only does 2 plus 2 not equal 4, 4 does not even identify as 4 in the first place. And, yeah, look, propaganda works by casting the Untermensch as ugly and the Übermensch as beautiful. It has to. So the baseline is ugly men, beautiful women. Obviously, when you cast female 10s alongside male 5s, you're still going to get feminists complaining about the unobtainable beauty standards for women and so on. But if you do the opposite, if you're casting big old jacked, handsome men alongside ugly, out-of-shape women, people will straight up call it misogynist propaganda. And they would have an entertainable case, because that is what propaganda does. It's only okay when men are the Untermensch. If it's beautiful men and beautiful women, they'll complain about the female beauty standards. If it's ugly men and ugly women, they'll complain about the misogynistic depictions of women. No matter what combination you use, feminists will complain about something. But the safest option in such a climate is ugly, stupid, pathetic men alongside stunning, brave, strong, independent women. Because that is what we're supposed to believe the world really is. Pardon me, that is what the world really is. Every woman is a 10, and every man is below average. That is the clear and obvious truth. And this is, of course, still misogyny. And we'll teach you how! For just 50 grand a year of taxpayers' stolen wages. Ah, this is the life, comrades. Soak it up in.
She'll have a fashion line, a foundation.
Wow, so we're starting the story in the utopia. That means that based on writerly craft, if you start the story with the main character in a utopia, which is what you're doing, then what has to end up happening is that they have to go through hell. They have to have everything stripped from them so that we can find out what they're truly made of. And we can root for them as they claw their way out and find some kind of new contentment or a new equilibrium that's livable. I haven't watched this, so I don't know if that's what happens.
You were incredible today.
Thank you.
I mean, it wasn't even like tennis. It was an entirely different game.
What does she do? Control the tennis balls telekinetically? Like, out of the blue, without any training? All of her friends are incompetent, but she loves them anyway. Has the power to be saved by woodland critters at a moment's notice. Accidentally leads herself into certain doom for breakfast, but then saves the universe by afternoon tea. Yeah, you keep at it, son.
Hey, come hang out with us later.
Want me to come tuck you in?
No, we just keep talking.
Okay, so I'm guessing the conflict is she falls in love with two gay dudes?
How often does this happen? Going after the same girl?
Not as often as you think.
We usually have different types.
So you're saying I should be flattered?
Aren't you everybody's type?
So you're starting off with a utopia, and then you're just adding to it? Like, I'm personally not goblin sexual, but she obviously is, so being the main character, having a perfect life, and then having two goblins chase you when you are a goblin sexual. Okay, utopia, and then you just add to it. What?
Come here.
Which one of us?
Cucks cucking each other. Groomers grooming each other. Traffickers trafficking each other. I suppose there's nothing wrong with it in theory. It's a weird theme for a film. I mean, a normal film.
Okay, so what is this? This is like a porn concept, isn't it? I mean, okay, fair enough. The French can definitely pull this kind of a thing off. In fact, it's not a French film if there are, like, at least 3 cocks circling the hen house. You know, it's just, that's the way the French, and they do it with a certain panache. And also, the men look like men. They act like men. You perceive them to be men, not goblins.
Goblins, goblins. Goblin trolls, trolling trolls, all the way down. Sometimes the circle of life is prohibitively small. There's a dirty joke in there somewhere. Do it yourselves.
He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
Oh god, they're goblins that can't act.
It's nice to see you lit up about something, even if it's my girlfriend.
Okay, so she's got a gammy leg now and she can't play tennis, but one of the goblins is playing tennis instead of her, and she's his coach, and she's also married to him and is his coach, and my butt smells and I like to kiss my own butt. Okay, so there is some, like, tennis in the film. One or more tennis-related plot twists. It doesn't seem like it's a tennis story with some incidental romance in it. You've trailered it like it's a saucy softcore porno with some incidental tennis in it. If this is based on someone's life story, I'd be pretty shocked if they were satisfied with the final product. But hey, they never are. You got your money, do something else with your life. Start a social media account. Why not? Get cancelled and write a book about it. And when they burn your book, do a Broadway musical about it. The possibilities are endless. Anyway.
Hey, I love you.
I know.
Is anyone here supposed to be sympathetic? That's the other issue that I'm having. Okay, so she marries one of the goblins. What is her conflict that she didn't get both?
You don't know what tennis is.
Why? What's tennis?
It's a relationship.
A relationship? Throwing up into a koi pond is a relationship. Bashing your head against an ironing board is a relationship. Eating your own nipples with a spoon is a relationship. Almost everything. What could conceivably be your point?
This is just wish fulfillment. Like, it's literally just wish fulfillment. It's just a woman who's rich who has 2 guys fight over her.
We went somewhere really beautiful together.
You realize that a woman like this, if she were a man, would be an obnoxious creep. There'd have to be something more to it. James Bond has to be saving the world. Like, we don't tolerate James Bond unless he's saving the damn world. Okay, you understand that? There has to be some kind of external standard that she's living up to. Not being this cool tennis pro that's all about her and all about what she gets out of it. Okay? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this trailer isn't depicting the actual conflict of this movie, which apparently is two goblins fighting over a woman. But she's into that. So...
The thing about James Bond is we know he isn't real. Not only does he have superhuman powers of luck and sexual magnitude, we also know there's no such thing as a James Bond, as a kind of intelligence agent who saves the world from Bond villains. And we know this because the world is clearly being run into the ground by Bond villains. Every misanthropic megalomaniac who fancies a piece of the apocalypse pie seems to be carrying out their own unique flavour of mass depopulation, and ain't no bugger does anything to stop it. And so we fantasize about some bugger who does. And I suppose some people fantasize in a similar way about a tennis player having a threesome. And that's fine. No, you don't need big dreams for a happy life. You do you. Just saying. That kind of film is usually found on the top shelf. Yeah? Where one's loins come to rest when one's mind is in the gutter. What would it be? Upside Down Land. Or something. No.
I'm taking such good care of my little white boys. I'm taking such good care of my little white boys.
I don't know how many times this has happened. Are you fucking kidding me? They actually wrote this dialogue? Is this wish fulfillment? Or is this a villain? Like, is she going to be presented as a villain? Is the actual conflict her finally getting what she deserves? Because this is an asshole. Okay? This is what you've presented. You've presented a rich asshole who exploits people. Right? When you present that, if that was a male character, the final act would be shot in the face by Bruce Willis. Well, maybe not that bad, but something that we know that she, and you know what? If anybody wants to throw themselves on the grenade, please tell us. Tell us if she actually gets what she deserves. Fucking goddamn, ugh, that's really gross. Also, I guess this is another point in the favor of my observation that white men are simultaneously responsible for all the world's ills and the most desirable men on the planet. When did the world stop making sense?
When it started making sense. Why would it do that?